Hi, my rays of light, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and welcome to anyone who is newly listening to my channel for the very first time, or being here listening to the psychic reading that I'm going to be doing on Balvin. And he is a reggaeton singer, songwriter, performer from Medellin, Colombia, just like Maluma. If those of you that are not aware of who Maluma is, he's just like Balvin, which they are really, really great musicians. Artistry, their artistry is very good. So I'm going to be giving you the insight that I get for him between, now and 2 to 3 years and whatever else may come through for him. Really and truly, I feel like, when I tune into Balvin that, I'm going to just refer to him throughout the reading as Jay, because it's easier for me to than saying saying his whole name. But when I tune into him, he's someone that's very sweet. I feel like he's very down to earth. That's the energy that I get from him. Very open book. I don't feel like he holds a lot inside of himself that he doesn't want to talk about, or that people, he would be keeping secrets from people. He's very open, an open book, and what you see is what you get from him. I also feel like he has a healing abilities, as weird as that sounds, even though he is in a music, music heals in many ways as well. So, he's using his gift of using his experiences, drawing upon those to do music and make music that kind of reaches to the masses and provides healing through that. He has reached a level of success right now, but I still feel like it hasn't changed him completely. He's still very humble in who he is and what he stands for and where he wants to go, his future vision. He is in this whirlwind kind of times of change right now, so his world is pretty crazy. I think a lot of people think that, being a musician, being a performer, that it's just very easy, and that, you're on tour, you get access to thousands of free designer clothing, etc., and all kinds of different trends and styles, and people come and beckon at your call. But it's a lot more than that. When you're a celebrity, you, like I've said before in different videos, like for him, I would get, lack of sleep, always, on the go, flying from one country to the next, promoting his work, constantly doing interviews, radio. So like lack of sleep for him, I feel like he doesn't sleep very well. Also a lot of anxiety from him, because when I'm doing this, my throat is kind of closing up, which is like a nervous anxiety type of feeling that he would be suffering from. Also feel like he's very spiritual as well. He's very in tune with the metaphysical, with knowing how to kind of take time out to kind of recharge his batteries, and when he needs that, he will do that. But for the most part, I do feel like he throws himself into his work, just like many artists do, to kind of not cope with some of the things that are going through his mind. Now, from his perspective, I feel like he's very grounded, and he knows where he's going in his career. But I do feel at the same time there's people that he has known that have changed on him, or they have changed up their feelings towards him, because they feel like he's kind of like, how should I say this, like, famous changed him in some kind of way, or that they think that he thinks that he's better than anyone else, and that's not the case. I feel like with him, like I've said, he's very grounded. And I see a lot of exchange of energy, going back and forth with his money, where it's concerned with projects and stuff. I keep seeing that is something that he's going to be working on, but I do feel like there's a sense of him having to fight for something that he wants, and turning down something that he doesn't like. And this is going to be like within the next year or next couple of months. There could be a big project that he is supposed to take part of, but he doesn't want to really do it because of he needs the relaxation. So it's like whether or not he should sacrifice his personal time, or go ahead and go forth with it, and then kind of come out of it burned out, meaning like energetically, physically being exhausted and tired. And so that I'm getting is something that he's debating. I also feel like he's very open to transforming himself through his looks, expressing how he feels on the outside with his fashion, his looks. So he's willing to try things. He's kind of a risk taker. And these are like the special souls that come here to Earth to kind of elevate consciousness, like I've said before, to change and allow other people. So it makes sense that he has a lot of fans and followers that try to emulate his style or emulate who he is, because on a deeper level, he is expressing his soul through the on the outside, through his clothing, through his hairstyles, through the hair color, through his music. So this is what I'm saying, like specific people that are musicians or actors or actresses that are have a bigger platform than, your average everyday person. Um, their soul signed up for this in their their soul's contract before coming to Earth, and so they know, more or less, the soul knows that throughout here in time, there's a lot of sacrificing that they have to do. When I use the word sacrifice, what I mean is that sacrificing their privacy, like they no longer have privacy, sacrificing their time to spend with their family, because they are now family to millions of followers. In many ways, they are someone that people can kind of grasp to, or they look towards or look up to, like a role model. So for him, it's like, he's a very open book, but at the same time, he has a lot of worries about things, and he doesn't want fame to kind of change him, but it's already changing him in many ways. It's changed his lifestyle, obviously. He's got money now, but he's kind of like fighting it and resisting that fame, and kind of you can tell, depending on what kind of music he's doing. I also feel like when it comes to the special people in his life, his mom is very important to him. I get a strong female role, and so there's a lot of worries about her. There has been his mind has gone towards, thinking about her, thinking about overall his family. He really cares about them. Um, I do see something life event change in his family within the next 5 months. So this could be within the next 5 months. His mom's health, may deteriorate, or it may get better. There's just a big change that's coming within 5 months from now for him when it comes to his family life, and that's where his passion, his fire, and his passion for his music and for his career comes from. He wants to give, his family a better life and also make them proud, and he's done that. At the same time, with his career, there's going to be a lot of judgment from people. I get the sense that there's going to be headlines about him. There's going to be something legal, coming up. And I've said this before. It kind of sounds kind of like repeating myself, because it's something that typically does come up with a lot of people. But there is something coming up where he's going to be in the headlines. Either, they're comparing him up against another American artist, or they're comparing him to another, you know, reggaeton type of singer. But there's some kind of feud that is going to be in the headlines, some kind of big disagreement. And I also feel like he's trying to be patient about this. Like, he's not the confrontational type. He's not the type to kind of, instigate or want to be get violent, or, go on social media or in any opportunity that he has and bash people, or go on an interview and then talk about it. He's not that guy. He's a very sweet guy, a good heart, and I feel like, he avoids drama. But there is going to be some people where he's going to have to maintain patience, because there's people that are coming for him or coming at him, whether it's on social media, etc. But again, there's a lot of negative people when you've reached a certain level of success that try to take you down in many ways, or kind of ruin your career in some kind of way. I also feel like when it comes to his love life, interestingly enough, what I get is a lot of loneliness. So regardless if he's dating someone or he's with someone, what I'm being presented right now by Spirit is that it really doesn't seem like his love life is at the forefront of his focus, even though he may have feelings for people. there is a duality as well. So it's almost like an inner struggle. I don't know if he is bi or he's, straight, but whatever the situation is, there is, on a deeper level, there's these thoughts here. And so I feel like he's curious or has been curious. And again, this is something that's more private, but whatever it is, I don't feel like in this lifetime that he is going to feel exactly like fully committed to a relationship or fully committed to an individual. He is still on a journey and on a quest in this lifetime to really find out what he wants and who he would be with. I do feel like he will have in the future, a partner, but again, this is going to be all up to him whether that partner is long term. That is up to see, because again, his career is everything and it's at the forefront. That's where his important, where it is right now, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. He's just consumed by the work, but at the same time trying to find balance. And this year is all about balance for him. He needs to find that balance because I feel like at certain points in his day routines that he gets up, there's this feeling of physically being unwell, but he pushes himself even on his worst days to, continue to do the music, to do the routines, to do all of this. But really and truly, he needs to be careful with that. Spirit is speaking of a child, so that there may be someone that has a child by him in the next 3 to 4 years, but like I said, there is this duality to him, which is coming through very strongly. And I do feel like there's also some conflicts with a young female. She has brown hair. I want to say it's kind of like she has let it long, but then she cuts it short. So it's like really short. She has brown eyes, and she's very beautiful, very light complected. Whoever this girl is, I feel like she is someone that could be possibly a model, could be someone that's also a singer herself. I do feel like she is not from America, like from the US. She may be kind of like from another country, South America. That's what it feels. Maybe even European or like a mixture. Her parents both have, connections to both continents or both countries, but with this woman, she is someone that is not going to just settle. She has her own fame or her own following, and so her own career. So there's this kind of battle with this person, and I feel like there will be heartbreak on the horizon for him, whoever he gets attached to, whoever this female is definitely someone that is beyond a friend for him in his heart. And there's a lot of decision making. It's almost like you're having to bend backwards for her. That's the feeling that I would get, that it kind of has to bend backwards to kind of please her or make her happy, but at the same time, she's not really, no matter what he does or says, it's never good enough for her, because again, she has her own career, and I feel like she may not be loyal herself, where she may actually have someone else that's interested in, but she stays in this relationship or friendship with J Balvin in the meantime. So there's a lot of mental conflict coming up over the next 2 to 3 years for him, where he just feels kind of not in a good place mentally. Creatively, he may decide to kind of take a little bit of a break and then kind of come back out. Because right now I feel like he's collaborating a lot with a lot of different artists like Becky G, Anita. He's done a lot of other collaborations, Cardi B, but yeah, I do feel like, he's going to have to slow down. And again, I feel like he's going to be changing something in himself, having to kind of go on a spiritual journey or a sabbatical, like to kind of purify and detox from all the people that have gotten in his head, that have gotten in his heart and his soul. He feels drawn to a lot of people, but he does feel like it becomes very noisy. That's the kind of feeling, like chitter chatter, like chit chat, like people are whispering in his ear, telling him what they think, their opinions, or kind of agreeing with him. But on a deeper level, he knows that, a lot of people are not being honest with him. So he's going to have to kind of like go on this journey by himself in many ways, deep within a spiritual like cleansing to come out of this. So yeah, I mean, his career is far, but is not over by any means. He's going to have continue to have success over the next couple of years, but I do feel like his career is slowly going to change in many ways, and his popularity will also evolve, where I feel like he will continue to have fame, but after like 2 years from now, things may change in the company that he's represented by. A lot of newer talent will be kind of, you know, replacing a lot of these artists that are his age or a little bit older, like Maluma, him, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if J Balvin starts stepping into acting, because I see this, you know, would be something that he may not really think that he's good at, but it's a hidden talent, and they may have him go on a show, like being a judge on one of the contestants, like The Voice or whatever, for a different country, you know, and he may even also work like coaching other artists that. So I see like TV in the works for J Balvin, and again, fashion line as well, like clothing. Like I said, he's a very artistic and creative in expressing himself. So he has a lot of wonderful things coming up, a lot of projects. It's just these little bumps in the road that he's going to have to, ever so often, I think like many of us that would be listening to this reading can relate to, that no one's life goes smoothly, no matter how much level of success that you've had. Even if you're not a celebrity, you're an everyday person, you know, in your work life, in your personal life, there's always something, you know. You could be having good months, and then all of a sudden there's an issue within your family, with your child, with a mother figure, with your aunt, with your uncle, you know, and then you're kind of in the middle of that, trying to, that's kind of like what I'm trying to explain to you so that you can relate. That's what he would be going through, you know, not just in his family, but his work life, you know, and his personal life, with where his relationships are concerned, his friendships, reevaluating those. So that's going to be very important for Jay. So I want to thank all of you out there that are rays of light that like this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did like the reading. Also be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can hit that red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon, and you'll be notified of any future videos that I do publish. Also be sure to book a private reading with me, a psychic reading if you'd like. You can visit my website at www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Also follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Psychic Medium Ray. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world.